Hello and welcome back to the Fiat Ducato Build Series. If you're new to the channel, I'm Naz, and together with my wife Rosie, we've been turning this campervan into our very own tiny home on wheels. In today's video, we're going to go through the process of how we managed to build our overhead cabinets. So without further ado, let's get into the video. After researching so many ways we could build our overheads, we decided to attach the longest parts of our frame to the van and go from there. Once these were in, we could use these as reference points to take measurements for the rest of our frame to be installed. Using this method, I just kept measuring, cutting and adding piece by piece until all the framework for our overheads was completed. Okay. So that's the majority of the carcass of the overheads built. I've basically just put the bare minimum in so that it can stay up there. So then I can make all the measurements to put all the supporting beams in. I need to figure out how I'm going to do the doors. Initially I was going to basically make a frame, attach it to these battens, and then put the doors sort of like inside the frame, but our overheads are way too small to do that. So I'm going to have to rethink another way of doing the doors, but that's future Naz's problem and it's not this guy's problem. I'm going to go ahead and measure the spacing for all of our separate compartments, and then I'm going to add basically some support beams to act as separators for each of the different cupboards. My plan is to do 4 going the length of the van and then just 3 going across the width. So the plan really for storage is to, over the kitchen, have like rice, pastas, cans, extra cups, things like that. In the length of the van cupboards, we're going to have like underwear, socks, hats, gloves, whatever, and then anything else we want to kind of like chuck up in there. And then right in the corner, right up in there, is where our Wi-Fi antenna is going to come down through the roof, and that's where I'm going to house our Wi-Fi box. So that'll be kind of like a electrical hub. So yeah, I'm going to set up time-lapse, make the measurements for all the supporting battens, and then have a chat to you when I've got something important to say. Well, there you go, that's all the cabinet frames built. A much easier task than I thought it was going to be, and I only came away with one very small injury, and that was totally my fault. I should be wearing gloves, but you know, that's all the partitions done now. It's just a case of basically dividing up the spaces evenly and then putting in my support members. And now it's really strong. When I shake any part of it, the whole van shakes with it. All that's left to do is get this painted and then make a bottom for it out of probably either 5 or 9mm ply, and then I'm gonna figure out what I'm gonna do for the doors. Well, that went up like a piece of cake and it looks really neat, so I'm well chuffed with that. I'm just going to add a few more screws where I think there might be some weak points, and then we'll take a look at the widthways one. I think I'll set you up for a time lapse for that one though, because it's essentially just me screwing screws into ply, so time lapse. And there you go, that is the underneath of our overheads finished. Really strong, they're not going anywhere. And now the only thing left to do really is give it a lick of paint. Focus on doing the fronts and the doors.
get so many shots so someone won't pay $10. It's enough.
Stop!
Hey Dan, can I speak?
Yes, of course you can.
Okay, good afternoon. Shut up! As you probably tell, I got a bloody helper today. First time in it forever, eh? Wow. Eh? Okay, good afternoon everyone. Apologies for not picking up the camera and speaking through what I've been doing, but I'll quickly explain how we're getting these doors built. We've got 2 done already, and they're working out really well, exactly how we want them to look. I'm using 12 by 34 batten from B&Q to make the frames of the doors. And they're put together. How are they put together, Rosie? How are they put together?
With screws.
Yeah, so we're using these little flat brackets to basically put the 4 pieces together. And then we tried super glue for the rattan, but it didn't work. So we're using the same screws as we've used on the brackets with some washers to hold the rattan. Using the same handles as on our kitchen for the faceplate. Good morning everyone. It's a new day. Rosie's gone off to work today, so it's just me working on the van today, so I thought I'd pick up where we left off and get the doors done. I'm just going to be attacking this with some white paint like the rest of the van. Probably going to take 2 or 3 coats, I'd have thought, and then we'll get the handles put back on and look at fitting some hinges. Well, there we go. That's the overhead doors put on, and to be honest, I'm really happy with how they look. They're not perfect, and I know I've said that 100 times during this van build. You know, this isn't perfect, that isn't perfect. But the fact is, I'm not really going for perfect. This is our first build, so we're obviously going to make mistakes, and things are going to look a little bit rough and ready, and these definitely do. But overall, we're really happy with how they look. I guess now I should give you a full look at what they look like. And let's make it a little bit cinematic. There we go. I hope you think they look just as good as I think they look. That is one of the last big jobs ticked off, and yeah, we're really happy with it. Okay, quite a lot of time has passed since I last picked you up to speak about the overheads. They're in and they're done, but the only thing that hasn't been done, and you can probably tell already, is I haven't got a way to actually keep them closed. Now, the way we did our overheads with the hinges the way they are, the doors like to stick open a little bit. We were basically racking our brains to try and think of something to keep these doors closed. We've stumbled across these little fellas. So basically, it's in 2 pieces. One part of it is just basically 2 roller balls which are tensioned with a spring, and the other part attaches to the door. That would be on the base of our overhead, and this would be on the door, and it literally just, it's a bit hard to do, but it literally just clips into place. I've already put one on, and that works an absolute dream, and it clicks closed. It seems to be the only way that we can actually secure these doors. So yeah, let's crack on with getting these in, and then aside from actually adding, you know, decorative trim and everything, that's these overheads completely finished. Oh, another thing that I won't have shown you is we actually sprayed the hinges white, painting the hinges as well as the screws, which that was a bit of a job and a half to do. Made everything just look so much better, and we're so happy we decided to just take that little bit extra time to spray the hinges and just make everything look nice and neat and uniform. So I guess that's enough of me talking. Let's crack on with getting these fixes in place. And there we go, that is how we managed to build our overheads in such a small van. We really didn't think we were going to have the space to do the overheads, but it's given us so much more space to just put all of our junk, and they are a really nice addition to the overall look of the van. And that's where I'm going to leave today's video. If this was your first video of ours that you've seen, then please consider subscribing down below to follow the rest of the build series, which is gradually coming to a close, and to see our European adventure in the very near future. If you liked the video, then please drop it a like, and if you've got any questions or comments about how we built our overheads or just about van builds in general, then drop them down below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Next week's video, we're going to be diving into what we did for a Wi-Fi solution in the van and breaking down all the different things you can do when it comes to connectivity in your van conversion. So stay tuned for that one, but until then, I'll catch you next time.